Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are just outside of Montagu in the Western Cape. This week we are on our way to Jakkalsden campsite. Jakkalsden is situated just under 20 kilometers outside of Montagu, just off the R62, and just under 200 kilometers if you are making your way up from Cape Town. Wasn't long before we turned off the R62 and took the gravel road to the farm itself. After a few kilometers on the gravel road, we got to the sign where we turned off to the farm itself, where we got on the tweespoor gravel tracks, where we followed the signpost leading us towards the campsite itself. However, the owner of the farm and the campsite will meet you at the farmhouse and show you to your campsite as well to make sure you don't get lost. The tracks on the farm can be a bit rocky and at parts be a bit steep, so I do recommend you go with a car and a trailer that has a bit of ground clearance. After a few hundred meters you will reach the campsites themselves that are beautifully nestled into the mountain range. The campsites are spaced quite far away from each other, which offers you a very high level of privacy. Camping at Jakkalsden truly gives you the wild camping experience and you really feel like you are camping in the wild. Jakkalsden has many campsites to choose from and they are all different shapes and different sizes and offer different things. Some campsites are bigger than others while some might be a bit smaller. The one you see here is the one closest to the Ablution area and is also the biggest one. It's got a rock built braai where you can make a fire in the middle with a wash basin also next to it and solar powered lights also on the camp terrain. But there are so many options to choose from, so when making your booking, make sure that you get the right campsite for you and what you want this weekend. As I mentioned, Jakkalsden truly wants to offer you the wild camping experience, so none of the sites has access to electricity, although each site does have a braai drum and a form of working area that you can work on and a dustbin. Some sites have taps as you see here, but that is not all sites. Be sure to clear that up when you make your booking beforehand. We had the privilege of visiting Jakkalsden 2 times now in quite a short space, and both times we were instantly made to feel welcome on the farm and were greeted with open arms by Arvie, the owner of the farm. We also had a great conversation with him about his plans and developments that he's still thinking of doing on the campsite, and you can see he's got a big passion for this campsite. On our one stay we spent time on this campsite you see here, which is probably the one that offers you the most shelter and protection against the elements. However, the other time we were there we were the only people in the campsite and we were allowed to camp at the Ablution area itself, which usually won't be a campsite if there is other campers in the camp as well. Jakkalsden in essence has 2 ablution areas. The main one is the one you see here and is fairly centrally located between all campsites. However, as this camp really wants to give you that wild camping feel, it is quite a distance from your campsite itself, and most of the times you'll probably have to drive to the ablution areas, otherwise it will be quite a walk to the ablution areas. The ablution areas are extremely neat and tidy. The main ablution area consists of 3 rooms with an open air feel to it. The first one is a big shower area that has a wash basin and place to put your shower utensils and your clothes and to hang up your towel as well. The second room has a flush toilet and a shower in it, as well as a basin and a place to put your clothes and hang your towel, while the last room is just a toilet. On the outside you'll find a wash basin where you can do your dishes, and hot water is provided via means of a donkey, and firewood is also provided for the donkey. As you drive back towards the entrance side of the camp, you would get to the other ablution area, which is called Pit Stop. Here you can also get firewood that you can arrange to buy and pick up here in case you need that. And there is also a toilet that you can use here with an area to clean your porta potty in case you have one of them. However, as we were embracing the wild camping spirit this weekend, we pitched up our shower tent and we were quite happy to play with all the toys at the camp itself. As mentioned earlier, there is also no electricity, so we had the solar panels out to ensure that all the batteries stayed charged for the weekend. I would also recommend you take a form of an awning or gazebo with you to ensure that you have shade throughout your stay, and the terrain you are camping on is a hard gravel terrain, so make sure you put the right tent pegs in for that. There are many roads and paths on the farm that you can drive, walk, jog or cycle on, and we decided to take one up to one of the campsites on the farm with the most impressive view that I've ever seen from a campsite. After exploring the farm a bit, we got back to the campsite and lit the fire and settled in around for tonight's braai. We settled in next to the fire and started speculating whether we might see some of the wild kudu that roams the farm. However, we weren't lucky this time and we didn't get to see them. So be on the lookout for them when you visit Jakkalsden. Jakkalsden is also pet friendly and Sava really enjoyed herself this weekend. The next morning we made our way up the track to the lookout point to go have a look at yet another breathtaking view. Too soon it was time to head back, and we got all packed and with a heavy heart made our way back home. But we thoroughly enjoyed our stay at Jakkalsden, and this is the perfect place to get back in touch with nature. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel to see more of our campsite reviews and travel videos. Until next time, happy camping.